Hi, welcome to Ramblings of an Old Dame. This is Dr. Nana G, your host for today. I had a surprise today. One of my friends came into town from Oklahoma. I've known this young lady for quite some time, and we've had quite a few wild experiences. I'd like to introduce you to my friend and family member now, G Money. Come on in, honey.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Good.
Listen, I remember when you first came to Texas and you came in, and I still had my dog, and um, G Money used to cook for me all the time, and my dog would follow her around, and my dog's name was Little Girl. I thought she was a little boy for a long, long time until I found out that she wasn't a boy, she was a girl, so her name changed from Little Boy to Little Girl. So, but anyway, Little Girl used to follow G Money around all the time, and she'd go to the kitchen and cook, and Little Girl got her plate first. She got to have a plate just like the rest of us did, and so when G Money came through the door earlier today, when she first came to Texas, the dog looked at her, and then she turned right around and looked at the fucking stove, and I said, "Oh my God, do you know what she's doing? She's looking at the stove." I said, "Yeah, Little Girl, she's here. She's gonna cook. She's gonna cook." And boy, Little Girl went to G Money, and Joe, she was just so happy to see her. It's like I'd never fed the dog before, but I did. So what's been happening with you, G Money?
Not much.
Not much. Tell them how we first met. And Eric.
A mutual friend brought her to my house and told her to sing a Rubber Dicky song for me.
Yeah.
She should sing it for you guys.
Yeah, one of the things is I had just gotten out of prison. I hadn't been out very long, maybe a month. And I was so old they had me in the geriatric squad, or pod rather. And so, but I did learn one thing about being in prison, and it was a song, and it kind of goes like this: Rubber Dicky, I love you. Rubber Dick, you make my dreams come true. Rubber Dicky, I'm so in love with you. Of course, it was a female prison, you know. Rubber Dicky, you're the one, makes masturbation so much fun. Rubber Dicky, I'm so in love with you. Boop boop be doo hoo. Well, I sang that at G Money's house. She was sitting at the kitchen table and had a slew of young people sitting around, and they were playing cards, and I totally interrupted their game, good and proper. But this old gal, she had a secret life, and her husband came in all of a sudden, and I wasn't supposed to be there, as I found out. And I was only, 125 miles away from home?
Yeah.
So she brought me over to G Money's house and said, hey, she needs to stay here for a night until I can get her home. Well, one thing led to another, and I met her uncle when I came back on Super Bowl Sunday, and I got laid for the first time after I got out of prison. But that's another story here. But tell them a little about what you thought about me. Was I wild and crazy?
Yeah, but she was good people.
Yeah, I am. But she is too. I do sing a lot, and I have sung a long time.
And moody.
But I entered the America's Got Talent contest, and
God.
she went and bought a car so that we could go to Houston. I made reservations for a lot of us to be in a hotel suite, the Hilton Inn, and she and I went to Houston. She's the only one that went with me, and she got sick all the way down there, but she got to feeling better we went to the audition, had a good time, but I told her, I said, I have a friend that lives here in Houston, and I'm going to try to call her. And so I called her and got a hold of her, and she was supposed to come to the hotel that night, but she didn't. And we went to her house the next day, and of course, G Money made her cry. You know, the woman is a little bit older than I am, and imagine that. But I think she was a little bit older than I was. And what'd you do? How'd you make her cry?
I told her her age.
Oh God, yeah. How old was she? I think
60 something.
Oh, she was older than that, wasn't she?
63, I think.
63, yeah, probably.
Something
Yeah,
like
I was 62.
Something like that.
Yeah, I just turned 62 because I got my Social Security right after I come out of the penitentiary. But
Yeah.
anyway, I told G Money, I said, man, I just can't take you anywhere. you make my friends cry. But I told her, I said, you know, this girl is a friend, and she's been a friend for a long, long time. And I said, some of the stories I tell you, she can verify that that was the way it went. But she worked for Texas Instruments at the time, and she told me, she said, I'm making a virus, Gail. And I said, what on earth are you making you're making a virus? A machine can't get no virus. Because I knew she worked on computers. I said, she can't make, you can't make a machine sick. And she said, well, you will when I get through. She was crazy like that. She got, who was the dictator's dog that she got?
Bin Laden's.
Bin Laden's, yeah.
Yeah.
She had an Afghan there.
Yeah.
She told us, she said, that was the stupidest dog I ever saw.
It wouldn't do nothing. It wouldn't listen to her. She had to go learn down to the store and learn Arabic in order for the dog to listen to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said, boy, that dog got educated all of a sudden.
Right.
but she's a good old gal. I'd like to go see her again. I think she lives in Corpus Christi now, but unless she
Yeah, me
got
too.
blown away with one of those hurricanes that
Right.
came through. But anyway, we've just been sitting here talking about my life's past and her life's past, and G Money had a couple of boys. One of them he just left. Y'all just missed him. He's I call him redheaded stepchild because he's redheaded, but he is a wonderful young man. And her youngest one, he was my baby boy. He clung to me, and I clung to him. It was he came to me in my life that I needed a young man to throw some attention on, and her boys, luckily or unluckily, I don't know, they caught all of it. One time
The first time Sean seen you, he was like,
yeah.
Mom, is that our grandma?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, he came to me that day and he said, well, I know you're not really my grandma. And he said, I know you're really not related to me. How old were they then? About how old were they?
Trying to think. Maybe 12 and 13.
12 and 13, yeah. Well, they were fairly young, but
Yeah.
anyway, he looked at me and I said, well, listen, I said, my name is Gail. I said, but, you know, you can call me Nana G or whatever you feel like. I said, just don't call me late for dinner. And boy, he just cracked up. He thought that old joke was just really funny, and I could tell him really good. But
Yeah.
but he's a very brilliant young man. I told him one time, I said, man, I said, you are one of the smartest smartest things. And he had a child, that baby, he is just adorable. I love that baby with all my heart and soul. Well, I love all kids. You know, kids are the future of our
Right.
our country.
Yeah.
And some of them are doing good and some of them aren't doing so good. I had one that did good and one that didn't do so good. And I think she's got the same thing, you know.
Yeah, they take turns.
Yeah. But I knew that her youngest son, I knew that he would straighten his life out. I told him one time, I said, you know, I know you're going to fuck up all the time, but one of these days, you'll grow out of that, and you will be one hellacious man. I know you will. And that's exactly what he's turned out to be. He's just one hell of a man.
Yeah.
He goes to work every day and
Surprising.
takes on his responsibilities.
I'm really proud of him.
Like I knew he could. He had that ability back then. But one time I was sitting in the store parking lot, and in pulls a pickup truck and parks right next to me, and it's just full of fucking girls. I mean, all these girls, they hopped out of the cab, they hopped out of the bed of the truck, and there was one guy with them. And he hopped out and he said, "Hey, Nana, what are you doing?" And it was her youngest son. I said, "I might have known the only man that was with all these girls is going to be you." I said, "You are a cat, boy."
Yeah.
But anyway, we've been working on I've been working on my computer. Sometimes I got a new microphone, see, so
Yeah.
sometimes I can get it to work, and sometimes I can't. Hopefully, it's working. I'm not sure that it is, but I guess we'll find out in a
hope
minute.
so.
It was a minute ago, so
Right.
I'm hoping that this is the right way. Anyway, this is Dr. Nana G with Ramblings of an Old Dame, and my good friend G Money. You know, you know that's not her real name, because you know I changed the names to protect the guilty. I don't know what they're guilty of, but I'm sure it's something. So we're not trying to protect the innocent, because the innocent don't need to be protected, but sometimes the guilty parties do. So, but anyway, this is the Ramblings of an Old Dame, Dr. Nana G. I'm going to sign off so I can visit with my friend today. Y'all have a wonderful day. I hope the weekend's coming up. I forget what day it is. I think it's Friday now.
Well, yeah, probably.
Yeah. So I think we might go do some karaoke tonight. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I think I'll get you up there to sing too.
Oh, God.
So y'all have a good afternoon. Bye bye.
Good night.